Hey everybody. I'm back for another episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. Shakeups and Makeup, season 7, episode 14. Let me just start off with this. Giselle is overdue for a motherfucking ass whooping. She is the one who got all this shit started with Karen and Charisse, then threw that dig, like, well, who did Charisse have sex with? Huh, one of Karen's boyfriends? Well, you know what, Giselle? Maybe if you was getting some, we know something about your fucking boyfriend too. But we know your relationships are fake. And don't get woo. Let me tell you something. That's all right. I'm gonna hold on to it until the time is right. But Giselle, you got many skeletons. Actually, some of the bodies you guys still got meat on their bones. So just if I were you, honey, I'd pipe down. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, so Karen threatens. They're still at the table, arguing or whatever. Her and Sharice. Karen threatens to whoop Sharice's ass. I don't know why that was funny, but it was. Okay, Sharice, you were not gonna do shit, and neither was Karen. But okay, so Robin's ditzy dumbass doesn't know what's going on. What's going on? Karen said that Sharice showed up to her mother's funeral and made it her business to stick her head in the limo with her family to let Karen know that she was at the funeral. Karen said that her Aunt Val specifically said that as long as she never brought it up on TV, she was coming from a good place. Now that she's brought it up on TV, as far as Karen is concerned, it wasn't genuine. And quite frankly, even if you do make it to a funeral, you know how people's emotions are. You just reach out, touch, make sure as you walk by the casket, just something. You don't have to do all of that. And then to point out she was the only one there. I thought that was the first time she had talked about that shit. I didn't realize she had said that on another season. When she was not a main cast member and she was once again starting shit. But okay. Anyway, there we go. Oh, light's better. Okay. So whatever. And Sharice, that is unbecoming. It's fucking unbecoming. And quite frankly, I just don't like you. All right. So Robin said that Karen has been lying. Robin. 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 I don't know what the fuck your deal is, but let me tell you what the fuck I did notice that was really bothering me to my core, and I just could not let it go throughout this whole episode. I could see in your hair where you had like weave pieces like to fill it, like you know how people put in hair clips to like make their hair look fuller. Like I saw like literally like the fucking tape on your scalp. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Bitch, the last thing you should have been doing, one, was doing your own motherfucking hair. Okay, just stop. Stop, stop, stop. Cut it low, cut it low, cut it low. Because you and hair don't get along well. It just don't. Okay? Two, how the fuck are you so sloppy that you let somebody see that? Why couldn't you get some braids? Why couldn't you do something? Like, this bitch always gets it wrong. And then she always gets like this weird courage when it comes to fucking with Karen. I don't know what that is, but bitch, you coming off like a hater, and considering all the shit we could read you for, Robin, bitch, why is she still on this show? What has she given us but broke and tired? Isn't this show supposed to at least give us the illusion of people being rich, even though they be renting houses and moving in and out? Robin has never given us that. She has always given us broke and tired and bad with finances. And I don't think she should say she has a degree in business management no more. Whatever the fuck she got it in, it's something around economics, and she's clearly terrible at it. The fuck? Anyway, but that shit was bothering me. Okay. So Robin said that Karen's been lying, and they do the run back where Karen goes, "We're good. We're good. We're good." Every time she talks to Sharice, like, leave me alone. That's exactly what people say when they don't feel like rehashing shit. Okay? When you fought enough and you don't want to bother with it no more. Y'all bitches keep bringing it up. Karen is not addressing Sharice. Let me tell you something. I am known. Once you cross me, and if I have to be in your space for work and there is nothing direct that involves us, I can say hello, I can do my job, and then I can go back. Like, I mean, I don't really have it out like that with people at work. I mean, but sometimes shit happens, right? Like, I mean, not like this, banging on the table and fighting, but nevertheless, people do things to you. And then you just limit your contact. So I totally understand why Karen is just like, okay, no, we're good. I'm not doing this. I don't want to go there again. Like, what the fuck? And quite frankly, this is kind of y'all's at work environment. Anyway, Sharice brings up that she knows Karen went to rehab. And she was like, her friends had to take her, whatever. Okay, so even if she did go to rehab, Sharice, let's just say she did go to rehab for something, for some sort of substance issue. What's funny about that? Why use that? Why weaponize that against someone? If Karen had told you, I still don't think it would be appropriate for you to bring it up. Seeing that Karen didn't tell you that a friend was gossiping about having gotten her out of rehab, according to you, but still, why is that something you weaponize? I don't think that's funny. Even if she does have a problem, I don't think that's funny. And I think that's low of you. And considering you're always asking for champagne in every scene, seems to me like you try to drink your problems away too. So we could all draw conclusions without evidence and receipts. So stop it. Stop it. Okay, anyway, Karen says, well, you messed up me going to Safeway. Karen. Okay, Safeway is a grocery store, people who don't know, and it's very common, particularly in the DMV. And I think it was Mia who said, why would you go into a Safeway? I don't have time for this bullshit. Safeway is a regular grocery store. It is nothing bad about it. It's nothing extremely great about it. It's just a damn grocery store. Like, but the way Mia said it was like, why would you actually go in there? Like, what the fuck? Well, I can't. And that's because they were harking back to Monique when Sharice said that, oh, Chris Samuels tried to attack her in Safeway. When basically they got an argument, and God knows all the bass in Chris Samuels' voice. He could have said hello. You would have probably thought it was an attack. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. All right. So both of y'all, just stop it. Just stop it. And let me tell you what I don't appreciate is Giselle calling this a geriatric fight. Giselle, like, we know you're over 50. Cut it out. Like, bitch, you've missed that point. You are about to be AARP fucking, what do you call it? Eligible. So just stop. All right. So Karen is basically saying, you're somebody who tried to break somebody's family up. She's talking about Monique's family. And essentially her bringing all that bullshit that her ex-best friend had brought. And a lot of that shit was brewing inside Monique. And that's what helped Candace get her ass whooped because she was running her mouth too with them same bitches. Anyway. And then Sharice goes, well, you were also sleeping with a married man. But I'm breaking up families. The rumors continue. That's all I can say. Like, what? Okay. So then Robin jumps in and says, well, the shaman didn't work, obviously. It's shaman, bitch. For somebody who got a whole lot to say, I'm going to need you to learn how to pronounce words correctly. Okay? Okay. Anyway, and it's not pronounced like that in Spanish. Miss me with the bullshit. Anyway, so Mia and Jacqueline go to the side and talk. For some reason, I kind of knew this was going to happen because they described themselves as sisters. And that's what sisters do. They fight, they get over it, whatever. I at least knew they could sit down together. So Jacqueline says to Mia that she felt like Mia just took things too far. And she felt like, well, you were insinuating that the married man was Gordon. Jacqueline, girl, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't catch that. Now, I know some of y'all who watched a few of my videos probably like, well, you don't catch a lot. But sometimes y'all bring it to my attention when y'all say that, because that would have just gone over my head. I just thought she was basically saying you fucked a lot of people. But okay. So Mia looks at her and goes, well, what did I lie about? And Jacqueline said, well, when you made the comment, close your legs to marry men, she was like, that's not right. And Mia says, okay, well, look, I tried to help you, but you don't. I'm like, bitch, how do you think you helped her? Like, what are you talking about? The problem with Mia and her brain is I think Mia really believed that in her mind. So Jacqueline says to her, well, Gordon wasn't married when you met him. And Mia turned around and goes, he was. And I owned it. Wow, bitch. Wow. Wow. Fucking wow. Why? You really have no shame. Telling Jacqueline to close her legs to married men as if you are in a position to give advice on those kind of things when you married the man you were a mistress to or a side chick to is all types of wrong. You're not in a moral position to make that judgment call, ma'am. You actually aren't. Okay? So whether it's true or not about Jacqueline, Mia, you're not the person to deliver that message. Okay? Anyway, so Gordon, I imagine, probably has older kids with the other wife. If I was your daughter, I would fuck Mia up and I would not speak to your sorry ass again. Okay, I'm sorry. This hoe don't even have enough sense to be on TV and be ashamed and apologize and say, hey, you know what I did was wrong and that wasn't right. No, because as far as she's concerned, as long as she got a husband out of it, some kids, and some money, she good. Bitch, bye. All right. Owning sleeping with a married man doesn't make you less problematic. You're just arrogantly not sorry, which makes you a bitch. Okay? Hashtag done. Next. Okay. Day 2 in Mexico. Yoga or whatever the fuck they were doing with Ashley. This shit was boring. A bunch of chicks trying, well, tricks, man. Might as well. Trying to do these like sexy, but it was just whack. Only Jacqueline and Mia and Giselle participate with Ashley. Giselle participates because she can't afford not to have camera time. And I guess she got to finish paying off her IKEA furniture. But okay. Shout out to Afterpay. So Karen and Candace talk about Mia and Jackie. I'm going to call her Jackie. I'm sorry. I know her name is Jacqueline. But just, okay. So Karen says, look, I'm rooting for them as friends. She was like, I just want them to keep us out of their business. Yes. Yes, that actually is all there is to do. Because them bitches will stir the pot, stir the pot, stir the pot. And Karen knows that. She don't have to say that. I know that's what she meant. So Jacqueline is in a confessional without a name tag, just like Charisse. You could tell when people were being used for TV. I'm sure the makeup that they had that was available for these confessionals was the same kind everybody else had. It's not like they're making concessions for you while you're making these networks money. I'm gonna need y'all to do better. Because if you don't have no name tag, I'm concerned. How the fuck you sitting in the confessional? All right, you need to get your checks together. All right. And you can say, oh, you a teacher, you broke, you don't make no money. Let me tell you something. I got a consistent check though, okay? Hello and good morning. Anyway, so she moved. As far as I'm concerned, Jacqueline is talking and she goes, well, Mia used to be down to earth, but now it's all about her businesses and her things, how much money she makes. Jacqueline, this is why I can't with you and Mia. Because you don't seem to be bothered with how much money Mia has access to when her and Gordon are helping you buy a car, a Porsche, not just a car, not just something to get around in with you and your kids, but a Porsche. Okay. And as far as I'm concerned, Mia moved from being a foster child and a stripper, and she has so many insecurities she is trying to work through or hide. You can't really expect much. And I know that sounds mean, but I'm just keeping it real in terms of like expecting her to know when to be humble. She's trying to cover stuff. She's trying to cover a lot of pain. All right. It just seems like Jacqueline in that moment was mimicking the critiques from everybody last season about her bragging about having businesses and this, that, and the other, when this whole show is predicated on people appearing to have money. Okay. So miss me with the bullshit. Yoga equals born. All right. To the Sonate or whatever the fuck they were going. So Charisse is staring Karen down on the beach, talking to Giselle about how fucking fake she is. Charisse, come up off of it. Just come up off of it. Like, you're pissed because Robin and Giselle have clearly mapped out a plan to get you back on the show. I'm not saying that the plan is going well. I'm just saying that they mapped out one, okay? But with the intention to probably, one, get you on their side, and this is just me guessing, to silence all that colorism shit that the internet is buzzing about with y'all two in particular. So bring Charisse back on, get her on the side, and then go, well, what are y'all talking about? I'm not even going there with the colorism shit. I'm just saying, I think that's the way they're thinking. She is only able to come back on, though. Charisse clearly is only able to come back on with this plan if she's willing to rip Karen apart. Giselle and Robin, bitches, we see you. We see you. It's obvious. Like, it's not hard to figure out what y'all are trying to fucking do. Charisse, you are boring. I didn't like you. First season, you didn't make any sense. Second season, you did not make any sense. And then you disappear. And that was okay with me. Like, honestly, girl, I don't even dislike you enough to hate you. Like, you know how Kenya Moore stayed on Real Housewives of Atlanta, even though a lot of people hated her. A lot of people liked it. But I'm saying a lot of people hated her too. Is because people still want a character on the show that draws energy from the viewers. And Charisse, you give us nothing to work with. TV's not your thing. When I say come up off of it, come up off of it. So I knew Karen got the best of you because that next morning when you're talking to Giselle on the beach, you were irate. Like you were mad, mad. Okay. And Karen was talking about the issue with Candace and says, I'm going to take off my glasses because I want to be transparent. And she was basically, she was still speaking with calmness. I don't know how aggravated or irritated she was, but she basically was embodying the I'm over it essence. And quite frankly, Sharice, you couldn't handle that. You couldn't handle the fact that the next day she was paying you dust. Okay? Over and over again. All right, so Mia starts complaining about Jacqueline on the Mexican Mercedes Benz bus. Like, I'm not going to start. All right, so Karen asked Robin, she said, oh, where's your veil? And she said, I told you what happened. She said, oh, I thought you were joking. Yeah, shit, Karen. It does sound like a joke, but it was just right. All right, anyway, she said, well, did you show it to Juan? Did he give you a wedding date? She was like, well, we have one. So Karen said, when is it? And she says, none of your business. Like, she got, like, real, like, up in her shoulders. And Karen said, well, how are we going to send you a gift, right? She said, I don't want a gift, just prayers and blessings. Robin, I just, I don't know why I'm laughing because she is just so ridiculous. I don't like Robin. I have no idea how she has made it to 7 seasons. Like, I never thought her character would get past the first season. I really didn't. And then you have the nerve to not be nice. Like, you should at least try to be a nice person. But you don't do that either. But you're still like whack. Like I told you, I can see like, go fix that first, okay? Before you start talking about Karen and her wigs again. Okay, get your shit together. Anyway, so Robin, you're just being stupid. You're being stupid and you're being rude. Nobody is believing the relationship. And damn sure not the marriage, okay? They dip in the water for like 5 minutes, but it's cold, and they just kind of hanging around the ladder, and then they go to lunch. Anyway. So next, okay, so lunch at the Mexican restaurant. Ashley asked if everybody's in a good place after their cleansing. I don't know why they keep asking these same fucking questions. Why don't the producers at least give them a new line? Like, oh, is everybody in a good place? No, they're not in a good place. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, Robin jumps in and says, well, there's still stuff. And Candace gives her a look like, bitch. but she didn't say that. I'm just saying she gave her that look that she deserved for running her fucking mouth. Just, Robin, shut the fuck up. All right, so Karen deflected so quick. I think Karen was afraid they was going to bring up the Cherie stuff and she didn't feel like talking about it. So she said to Candace, well, how are you and she threw that on y'all so quick and y'all fell right into it. Okay, and anyway, never mind. I'm not going to even, you know what, Robin, Robin, whew. All right, so Candace has an issue with Ashley bringing Deborah to Karen's show. Yes. And she said, Ashley says that, well, I only brought her because if someone was saying that about Michael, she would want to hear it from that person. Ashley, really, would you? Would you ever really want to hear that? Let's be real right now. Right. Cut it out. You try to do it to embarrass her. You try to do it to have a moment. And you try to do it to bring your friend on the show. Because clearly y'all are auditioning bitches for the show. All right? Anyway, Candace read Ashley in the best way I have ever seen Candace read somebody. By not losing her cool. Okay? And we know that is not a strength of hers. And saying, my hope and prayer for you, Ashley, is that you stop perceiving relationships in these toxic ways. Where you feel like you have to go and find out about what your man is doing. Because she was like, I don't have to do that because I know my man. So that's not even necessary for me. I was like, yes, Candace, yes, yes, yes. That is the problem, Ashley. It's the way you perceive relationships. Because your relationship is fucked up. And Ashley just had to basically say, yeah, well, you know, the stuff we have gone through is toxic. Yeah, bitch, it is. Next. So Wendy gave her opinion and said, well, honestly, you know, when it's all three of us, we actually have a lot of fun. She said they just need to leave it there, though, and stop rehashing their issues every time they talk. Facts. Facts. But it ain't gonna happen, Wendy. It ain't. Okay, so anyway, then we get this scene back at the lobby bar where Ashley and Sharice go get a drink. Then Ashley said to Sharice, I am so proud of you for standing up for yourself against Karen. Ashley, you are a consistent ain't shit bitch. Okay? There was no reason to bring that up. You're proud of her. You are encouraging the bullshit because you want it to go down. This is what you do for your birthday? And guess what? Your husband is nowhere to be found. He doesn't want to film. He doesn't want to film with you. He's not willing to suck it up for the family. He doesn't want you. Girl, you got bigger issues. Like, these people kill me. Then they go to dinner. Can we please? Like, for these people who try to act like they are so above it, like, I don't understand why you all have not had enough etiquette. And this is me. This is one thing I do not play about. People need to know how to act in restaurants. I do not like being at a restaurant with motherfuckers who don't tip. I don't like being at a restaurant with people who get loud and try to have arguments. I don't care what the fuck it's about. I don't give a damn if it's a reality show, if it's politics. Once you start raising your voice, as far as I'm concerned, you don't argue with people in public. I was taught that from a child. You argue behind closed doors. It's improper. Okay? And they're like, and that's why you ain't on a reality show. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm not on one. Okay? But this shit is tacky as fuck. Okay? Because I done had to let somebody go too. Because they tried that shit with me as a grown woman recently. No, thank you. Check. I don't play those games. I don't. We ain't gonna be no fight. Just check. That's the only lesson you need to learn about me. Anyway, so Ashley brings up the wedding again. All of a sudden, Robin doesn't have the energy she had for Karen earlier that day on the Mercedes-Benz bus. Okay? For anybody else around that table who's asking questions. Right. Okay, so Wendy asks, when is it? Wendy jumps in too. Robin starts with that bullshit. Well, I came to the conclusion that I'm not even sure if I want a wedding. Like, do I need it? And everybody is just making faces. Mia is like making googly eyes at her drink. Giselle puts her head down in shame. And at this point, Robin, you just deserve all that. And honestly, I don't know if they're so quiet because they're just annoyed. They don't believe it. But just stop. Just stop. I was just like, just stop. Just stop. No, but she can't do that. All right. So they're going to get married the day after, hear this, her brother-in-law's wedding in Jamaica. There were so many things wrong with that statement. One, the fact that you have someone who you refer to as your brother-in-law because you and Juan have never really understood yourselves to not be married is already a problem. Okay? Two, to do it the day after in Jamaica and then say, well, I don't want to steal, their thunder, so it's still going to just be us four. Weren't they looking at some place like an hour down the road in Virginia or something? Like, what the hell? Like, what the fuck? But we're not going to tell anybody. It's still going to be us four. So basically, we can't afford 2 plane tickets for a destination wedding or 2 sets of plane tickets. So then we're going to basically take the time that people would normally spend with family and friends at the wedding to have our own ceremony to claim that we're married. Girl, bye. So Karen's not going for it, and why should she? Because it's a bunch of bullshit. Karen says, why don't you want nobody there? Because your ass is like, like, just cut it out, Robin. Just cut it out. Just pull a Mia. Fuck it. This is what it is, and move on. All right, Giselle. Giselle, there is nothing about you that I like. And honestly, I don't even fuck with people's fashions that hard. But you and Robin have made it glaringly obvious why people must go in on it. Okay? Robin, the shelf printed bra dresses are not working for you at all. Okay? But we don't expect much. But the way Giselle runs her mouth and the fact that she had on that raggedy ass weave wig unbrushed with the headband from the 8, like, what was happening? Like, she actually stood somewhere and did that to her hair on purpose. Ma'am, I'm not here for it. So she said that so then Giselle brings up the Karen and Sharice fight because the hoe can't. She ain't gonna let you in her business, all right? But she gonna get in everybody else's. And she said that she felt like Sharice's character was completely assassinated last night, basically through Karen. Okay, and says that she doesn't essentially know Karen to be her, to be the person. I mean, doesn't know Sharice to be the person Karen described. And Giselle said that if there is a Queen of Potomac, then it would be Sharice. Giselle, Giselle, you can't afford for Karen to be right about that because you helped tear up Monique's or tried to tear up Monique's family too with them fucking lies, bitch. And the shit came back on you hard. Because Monique, let me tell you something, she may have left the show, but she left with a fucking whole house burning down behind her, okay? She wore your ass out and you deserved every bit of it, and her family is still intact. Okay, get the fuck out of here. And you only said the Queen of Potomac would be Sharice, I mean, to really antagonize Karen, all right? But Karen interrupted her and was like, and because it involves me, please stop. And something about the way Karen said that, you could tell. Sharice, and then here goes Giselle. Giselle looks like the fucking Grinch. Am I the only one who thinks she looks like a character from, like, one of Dr. Seuss's books, like The Who's? Like, right here? Like, if you put her face beside, like, one of the Who's, including the Grinch, and you look at them, she has the same face structure. Anyway, Robin jumps in because I don't know why Robin feels the need to jump into every argument Giselle has and come and be Captain Save-A-Ho, but the shit is looking real. Okay. Y'all believe what y'all want. Okay, that shit gonna come out sooner or later. Anyway, so Robin jumps in instead of letting her, Karen and Giselle have a back and forth, and says, you're saying that everybody in the group who has constantly had to have their feet held to the fire, you're saying you're above that. Karen did not say that shit. And let me tell you something, everybody in that group don't get their feet held to the fire in the same way. That season, all y'all attacked Monique, with the exception of Karen, and iced her out. That's some bullshit. Everybody's feet weren't held to the fire. Let me tell you something. Over and over and over again, when you give us this bullshit about your marriage, most people don't even say nothing around the table, except for Karen, who calls your dumb ass out, and you deserve it. Okay? Ashley starts shit, and then the person she starts it with somehow then has to become the person who defends oneself. Mia's feet got held to the fire the way it should have when she threw that goddamn water or drink or whatever the fuck she threw in Wendy's face. Her feet didn't get held to the fire the same way. If people wasn't putting pressure on y'all on Twitter and all these other social media platforms, y'all wouldn't say shit. Robin the one that need to get slapped too. I mean, hard. I don't know why they keep getting away with this shit. Anyway, so Robin, what the fuck are you talking about? You and Giselle don't get held accountable for half the shit y'all do. Because you keep everybody fighting to deflect off the stories of your real life that are fucking humiliating and fucking pathetic. Giselle's fake ass relationships, you and that arrangement you have with Juan, just cut it the fuck out. God damn, how many times I gotta tell fuck I'm talking to a kid? Alright, so Sharice basically says that she put the Potomac, the Real Housewives of Potomac Bravo group together. It is so unbecoming. Aren't you not supposed to admit that on reality TV? Remember back when that was a rule when you on reality, but you had to act like you weren't? I'm like, this how you know it's a dying genre, because these people have lost all sets of couth. Anyway, so Sharice said she puts her group together. Karen agreed. Karen said, yes, you did. But she said I wasn't on the list. In short, you didn't put me on the show, bitch. Okay, let's remember that part. She says, yes, you were lucky enough to be at my table and someone recommended you. Sharice. Sorry. Life's a bitch. And then you die. All right? But what the fuck? Like, Karen is not the reason why the viewers are not checking for you. Like, all of this attention they're giving to the Karen and Sharice thing is because Robin and Giselle have stirred it up. And it looks like they're trying to bring Sharice back on, but to push Karen off. And that's not going to work. Sharice never registered with the viewers. She didn't with me first season. She didn't with my sisters, my homegirls that I talked to. Like, nobody really had, like, they couldn't read Sharice. Okay? Anyway, although her confessional look a whole lot better than she looked throughout this taping. Anyway, Robin, why do you feel the need? I just don't understand why you can't stop licking Giselle's cooch for 10 minutes. Let Giselle fight her own battles that she starts. It ain't even like Giselle goes, like, you just jump in it. Get the fuck out of here. And then Robin keeps going. This hoe keep going. Saying that Karen's behavior is contradictory from what she says. I said, oh, like the rest of you bitches, get the fuck out of here. She's talking about people are gonna see you for who you are. And Karen says they do. And Robin goes, no, you're a bullshitter. Bitch, all y'all are bullshitting. All y'all done sat on this TV and lied to us and gave us some fake imitation of what you want your life to be or perceive to be, and it still looks bad. Okay, so miss me. Okay, miss the entire fuck out of me with this. And as this argument is going down, I think the noticeable part of this was how Mia checked out and refused to get involved, how Wendy checked out and refused to get involved. Even Ashley kind of checked out and refused to get involved. And Candace checked out and refused to get involved. It was just like they just wanted this scene to end. And they felt like if we don't say anything, maybe, just maybe, Robin is boring enough that the producer will say, cut. Anyway. And we've seen this too many times. I've been watching reality TV as a millennial for over a decade now, right? Just shows, like, bitch, every time we see this gang up shit on one person on reality TV, it always backfires. It always backfires. Need I remind you about the first season of Real Housewives of Atlanta? They beat up on Nene. Them first 8-9 episodes, they only had a short season, remember? They beat up on her on TV thinking it would come across to the viewer that she was the problem. Instead, she became the popular one, the sensation, and the point person. And not only the point person, like Charisse considered herself the point person, but the point person who was popular and who people liked, who people enjoyed. Okay, so that kind of shit backfires. When people ganged up on Monique, that shit backfired. It made y'all look like the bullies that you are. I'm telling you, whenever you do that, it does not look good. It doesn't. It doesn't. And we can see through it. Okay, so don't play with us like we stupid. Then Robin is calling Karen, you're just being mean. You just want to be mean to Charisse for not wanting her around. I'm sorry. I've been watching this whole season. Then Robin and Giselle, why the fuck don't y'all befriend Charisse and just film with her? Why would you keep drawing attention to the fact that Karen is ignoring her? Why can't Charisse just be a person in and of herself? Jacqueline ain't always rubbing up with you all. Y'all try to find Jacqueline so y'all can find out some dirt about Mia. Like, why can't y'all just film? 3 people is plenty. Like, y'all draw attention to the fact that they're not talking. We haven't seen Charisse and Wendy really get down like that either. But y'all not drawing attention to that. So what is it about this that y'all are trying to pull off? Like I said, this is their game. And it's a plan and it's a bad one, but nevertheless. Okay? So just... And why would you embarrass your friend by saying over and over again, you just don't want her around. You don't want her around. Like, honestly, I would feel away if y'all kept bringing this shit up. Like, just cut it the fuck out. So anyway, especially if somebody's hurting your so-called friend. Then Wendy and Mia, we get them. They get into it. And Wendy brings up the fact, I don't even know how we got to them. Just know that it happened. Okay, so Wendy says to Mia, because Candace says she was triggered by the apology that Mia sent out, where she apologized to everybody except for Wendy, the person who she did it to. I guess, I want to, I don't know, because somebody apologized without apology, whatever. And Mia, and Wendy says, yeah, like when you assaulted me, you don't think you owe me an apology for that? Mia responds, do you know the definition of defaming one's character? Mia, you assaulted Wendy. That counts. That counts. And I have a feeling that you have a record. Because we know, I watched enough Love and Hip Hop and enough documentaries to know that strip clubs get busted into by the police on a regular basis and everybody has to go to jail and clear out. So I already know you have a record somewhere. So I know with an assault to Wendy, you could very well be way past the misdemeanor stage. And Wendy never reacted with anything other than her words, which really weren't nearly as bad as they could have been for you. Because let me tell you something, I would have gone fucking low in the gutter with you, at least with my words. And Wendy kept it together. You did fucking assault her. That's why she kept making the point about the sequence of events. Me saying that you did what you did is not defamation of character. Like, that's not how that happens. Me saying the truth about you and what you did to me. Now, if your character happens to get bruised in the public because of what you did, that's on you, not on me. All right. So, miss me. Oh my gosh. So Mia goes, well, I was trying to be a friend. Mia, you are so fucking dumb. There's no point in it. So Wendy says, you don't know how to be a friend. You can't be a good friend to somebody you've known for 30 years. Well, you right about that, girl. So Mia, you're trying to deflect, and you weren't smart enough. You're not smart enough. You're not smart enough to read, and you're not smart enough to read and go hard with somebody like Wendy. You don't have the vocab, you don't have the skills, and quite frankly, you don't even have the truth. So I don't even know where to begin with you. And I tried to give you, Wendy, bitch, I'm done. And Wendy had your ass. She had you tied all the way up like this, and she didn't even have to get up out her chair. If there was somebody to take to court, and this is just me, Mia, you would deserve it. Because Wendy never physically touched you at all. And just in the moment of a heat of passion, you deserve to get your fucking head rocked. Okay? Okay. So, however, I'm glad to hear Wendy finally actually say out of her mouth, because I've been saying this over and over again, that she was like, well, I have something to lose. I have a lot to lose. Yes, Wendy, you do. And that's why I don't think this show is a good venue for Wendy. I understand people want to make money. I understand when people want to get advertisements for their books, for other stuff they plan on doing. But this kind of stuff, honestly, this bullshit of just fighting with bitches at the dinner table who came in the money based on who they married or whatever, like, this isn't the avenue for somebody like Wendy. Like I said before, even Married to Medicine and all this bullshit that I can't even watch, at least there are doctors who are still doctoring. Okay? Like, you should have found a better venue, because none of these people, the kind of things that Wendy does and says, would not be experienced even by the viewer the same way. If she was with people who had similar professions in life, similar things to lose in life. And so she's just making a point that, like, basically, I'm sorry you're so mad every time you see me because you basically want to be me. Mia gave her some half-ass apology. And she's like, look, I said I'm sorry for throwing the drink. Mia, I know you're wrong because you got up from that table and left, and you didn't leave angry. I think you're embarrassed, and you should be ashamed, and you should be. And 3, you didn't want to go there again, and you should not have. Okay, period. And Giselle is like popping in as Mia is going on and on with her bullshit, basically taking Mia's side over Wendy's. Like, y'all didn't see all that shit going down. That's the hypocritical shit we don't like, Robin. You and Giselle. So don't tell me what people gonna see. I ain't worried about Karen. Girl, let me get up off here. Thank y'all. And please be sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, especially as I try to grow my channel. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Happy MLK. Bye.